Good morning, my dear students. I hope all of you are keeping fine. So, we are going to start a new lesson in class 4B Science. I welcome you all to my class. We are going to start today lesson 7. This is air. In this lesson, we are going to study about the composition of air, properties of air, process of breathing and air pollution. We are going to deal with all these things in this lesson. Okay? So, let us start the lesson. We have already learnt in the previous class that anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. So, what is matter? Actually, what is matter? You see around yourself. Okay, you may see so many things on the table. You can see your books, your copies, your pencil box, isn't it? Around your room, you can see so many things lying down. You can see a bed, you can see television. So, what are all these things? Okay, these things are all, you can say these things are all made up of matter. They have mass. Mass, what is the meaning of mass? The meaning of mass is weight. They all have weight. All these things you see, they have weight and they occupy space. Isn't it? You see, you just take a book and you keep it on the table. You see, it is taking some place. That means what? It is occupying some place. It has weight. It is not so heavy, but it has weight, isn't it? So, you see, anything that has mass, that means anything that has weight and occupies space is called matter. And all these things are made up of matter. Everything around us is matter and it exists in three different states. What are the three different states? They are solids, liquids and gases. So, what are they? So, some things you see, most of the things around your house, you see they are solid. Okay, now you see the water that you drink is liquid, the milk you drink is liquid, isn't it? And gases are all around you. You breathe in oxygen, you give out carbon dioxide. Okay, so around yourselves you see the things are mainly in these three states. They are solids, liquids and gases. Okay, so on the basis of properties of a substance, it can be categorized as solid, liquid or gas. So by seeing the object also, you can say that you can categorize it as solid, liquid or gas. These properties in turn depend on the arrangement of tiny particles which constitute all matter. Now, these properties in turn on what do they depend? They depend on the arrangement of tiny particles which constitute all matter. The matter is made up of all these things. Okay, so what are these tiny particles? We are going to study about them. Let's see how the arrangement of tiny particles influence the properties of substances. You cannot see those tiny substances, or you cannot see those tiny particles, okay, that influence the properties of substances. Alright, so first of all we are going to study about solids. In solids, okay, in solids you see the particles are packed very close to each other. Alright, in solids, why? You see, you just see your book, you pick up your copy or you pick up your book, you will see, what will you see? That in this book or copy, the particles are packed very closely. That's why it has the shape. It has a particular shape of a book. It has a particular shape of a copy. Okay, therefore they have a fixed shape and size. Solids differ greatly in their nature. Okay, some are very hard. Okay, some are soft. You see, some solids like stones and diamond are very hard, while some are very stones and diamond are very hard, and some are soft like cloth, the cloth you wear, the paper you are writing, those things are very soft. Okay, now you see here, one thing you can see here, you see the molecules. Okay, you see the molecules, the molecules of paper, you can see they are showing these molecules under a microscope. So you can see the molecules, how it is arranged. They are closely packed. They are close to each other, isn't it? They are very close to each other. You see, each is actually attached with one another. So you can see the molecules of paper. We were talking about this tiny particles, okay, that you cannot see. These are the molecules. You cannot see with your eyes, but under the microscope you can see. So these are the molecules, okay. Now next one you see, let us talk about liquids. You can see the molecules of water inside the beaker. You can see, okay, the particles in liquids are not so closely packed. Even you see here the molecules are not so closely packed as in solids. You see in solids the molecules, you see in liquids the molecules, okay, they are free to move about. Okay, they are not attached with each other, they are free to move about. This is why liquids do not have a fixed shape. So they take the shape of the container in which they are kept or in which they are poured. When poured, they flow easily and take the shape of the container. You know, if we pour milk in a glass, it is going to take the shape of the glass. If we put water in a jar, it is going to take the shape of the jar. Okay. Now let us talk about gases. They do not have a fixed shape. Gases you see here, they do not have a fixed shape. They fill all the available space because their particles are very loosely packed. What happens? You see around inside in which room you are sitting. That room is full of air. Why? Because their particles are very loosely packed. The molecules in air are very loosely packed, okay. So you can see here molecules of gas inside the balloon. You see how far they are. They are not close to each other. They are very far from each other and they can easily flow in all directions. Alright. So we talked about solids, liquids and gases. Okay. Now let us talk about air. Air is a mixture of gases. We all are familiar that air is present everywhere around us. Where you are sitting, where I am sitting, where I am living, where you are living. Everywhere you see, air is present. We cannot see, smell or touch air. Can we see air? No. Can we touch air? No. Can we smell air? No. But we can feel air. Now of course if there is if you are using perfume, a good smell is there, you can smell it. If there is if the smell is bad, if there is a foul smell, you can smell that, isn't it? But actually we can feel air. Air is to feel. We can feel the presence of air when it moves. When the leaves are moving, okay, we can feel the air. When the wind is blowing, we can feel the air. For example, when leaves of trees rustle and when the clothes hanging on a clothesline sway. So, when the leaves move, okay, and when the clothes hanging on a clothesline sway, when your mummy puts the clothes on the roof, you can see she is putting it on a line. That is the clothesline, okay. Sway means it moves. The clothes moves with the help of air or if there is wind, okay. So in this chapter we are going to learn more about air. Alright. Now we are going to study the composition of air. Alright. Air is composed of mixture of gases, mixture of different gases. In air we find so many other gases also present in the earth's atmosphere. See, our earth is covered with a layer of air, that is atmosphere, okay. It mainly consists of nitrogen and oxygen. What are the two main gases? Nitrogen and oxygen. It also contains carbon dioxide, argon and other gases in small quantities. So in other small quantities also we have carbon dioxide, argon and other gases. So in air, what are the gases present? It mainly consists of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide is also there, argon is there and other gases in small quantities are also there. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas present in the air. Which gas mostly you will find in the air? That is nitrogen, followed by oxygen. So in the abundant means the most, in a huge amount you will find nitrogen. After that oxygen is there. Oxygen is needed by animals and humans to breathe and survive. See, we cannot live without oxygen. We need oxygen to survive. You also know that we need oxygen to survive. It is also necessary for burning. For burning, if you burn something, oxygen is required. Carbon dioxide is utilized by plants to carry out photosynthesis. We have already learnt what is photosynthesis in our previous lessons. Okay, so plants, they need carbon dioxide to prepare their food. Okay, and the process is known as photosynthesis. Alright, so here you see water vapor is the visible and gaseous state of water present in the atmosphere. In atmosphere we have water vapor also, which is invisible, which we cannot see, and it is present in which state? In gaseous state. Okay, it is present in the atmosphere. Water vapor is present in the atmosphere, which we cannot see. Why we cannot see? Because it is present in the gaseous state. Alright, it is one of the important components of air, as it determines the weather of a place. It is the most important component of air. In air, water vapor is present, alright, as it determines the weather of a place. See, the weather of a place, it depends upon the water vapor, how much water vapor is there in the air. Alright, the condensation of water vapor to its liquid or solid state is responsible for clouds, rain and snow. You know what is condensation? You have studied in the previous class, I think so, about water cycle. So you know that what is condensation, what is evaporation, what is precipitation, all these things you know. You have studied in the water cycle. So the condensation of water vapor to its liquid or solid state. What happens? When the water vapor becomes liquid, or when the water vapor becomes solid, that is responsible for clouds. To form the clouds, for the formation of clouds, it is required. Alright? Rain and snow. Because you see, from the clouds only rain falls, snow falls, isn't it? Alright. Beside this, air also contains germs, smoke and dust particles in it. So, when we are going to study about air pollution, we are going to study about all these things, that air also contains germs, smoke and dust particles. Okay, because the smoke that comes out of the factories, the smoke that comes out of our vehicles, it is also, it goes in the air. And it also makes the air dirty, isn't it? So all these things are also present in the air: germs, smoke and dust particles. Alright. Properties of air. Let us study the properties of air. Okay, we already know that air is colorless and odorless. What is the meaning of colorless? It has no color. You cannot see air. It is odorless. Odorless means it does not have any smell. So let's discuss some more properties of air. Now we are going to learn about the properties of air. Air occupies space, air has weight, air expands on heating and air supports burning. So you see, first one is air occupies space. This property can be easily observed when we blow air in a flat balloon. You take a flat balloon, you can do this experiment easily. Okay, you take a flat balloon, you see the picture here. Okay, it inflates and becomes big in size when you blow air. And how will you blow air in it? You can use a balloon pump also, or you can use your mouth also. Alright, so it inflates, it becomes big. This is because air occupies the space available inside the balloon. See, so when you are pumping, okay, air inside the balloon, or when you are blowing it with your mouth, what happens? The air occupies the space available inside the balloon and gives it a shape. Alright, it becomes big. It gives the air which you are blowing or which you are pumping. Okay, it gives it a shape. It gives the balloon a shape. Similarly, when air is blown into a flat tire, swimming tube and football, they become inflated and they change their shape. You can, the best example is your cycle tire. I hope all of you are cycling. So, when there is no air in the tires, you pump air inside that tire, and what happens? It becomes inflated. Okay, and takes the shape, the space that is available inside the tire. So the air is inside that tire. Okay, and it takes the shape. Okay, air has weight. Now we are going to study about that air also has weight. How can we prove this? You see here, this can be easily observed by comparing the weights of an inflated object and a deflated object. Okay, now you see, one flat balloon you take and one inflated balloon you take. You can easily see the weight of these two things. Okay, for example, a balloon with air in it is always heavier than a balloon without air. Okay, which one is inflated? You take that kind of balloon, and a flat balloon you take, and you can both the hands you take and you can just compare it. This is because air has weight and thus it makes the inflated object heavier. Inflated one will become little heavier because see, actually balloons are very light. Okay, air expands on heating. What happens? Air expands. When air gets heated up, the air particles spreads out and start moving faster in all directions. So what happens when air gets heated up? The air particles in it, they spread out, because you see the molecules in air are very loosely packed. They start moving faster in all directions. In this way, air expands and fills a larger space. So by this way, we can say that air expands and it fills a larger space. Air supports burning. We read just now, oxygen present in the air helps in burning. The oxygen that is present in the air, it helps in burning. If we burn something, what helps the things to burn? The oxygen that is present in the air. Okay, here you see, did you know, let us read this also. Nitrogen present in the air is necessary for the growth of plants. What is necessary for the growth of plants? A new thing you are learning, that the nitrogen that is present in the air. So what is nitrogen? Nitrogen is the gas. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas present in the air. You should know this. And nitrogen present in the air is necessary for the growth of plants. Okay, students. Today I taught you page number 62 and 63. Please go through these two pages very nicely. Thank you.